Hello, my name is Lesley Atherton, and this is a short piece of writing of mine called Looking for the Unicorn. Search through any dictionary of urban slang and you'll find the street definition of unicorn. Like their equine counterparts, human unicorns are magical, unattainable beings who roam the underworld of fantasy and myth. Unlike their equine counterparts, they are not universally desired as, despite your personal obsession, these humans may seem homely and inconsequential to others. Your unicorn is your ideal, but that ideal is not universal. Each unicorn is beautiful only in the eyes of their beholder. Each is the stuff of your dreams alone. Fixation occurs without their knowledge or experience. Their enigmatic stare, their walk, the way they fluff their hair off the hot part of their neck on a summer's day, all unknowingly draw you in with ample doses of myth and magic. But be warned, you haven't fallen in love at first sight, and you aren't reaching for the sky. Your desired relationship is never going to happen. And for why? Because the unicorn, by its very nature, is not intended to be captured. Each unicorn must, by definition, remain in the netherworld where you place them, unaware of their effect on you. Remember, that's one thing you need to know. You need to keep them away from you, those untethered mythical beings. Not because they are weak or vulnerable. You know that real unicorns die when you break a promise or tell a lie, and they grant wishes too. Yes? But human unicorns are mystical only in that they don't exist to you. Not really. Both of you will be lessened if you try to make real your relationship and attempt to remove them from the realms of fantasy. You cannot present them into the squalid realms of your everyday life. Imagine that woman you see every weekday. She gets on the bus, the stop before you. You've often considered getting on at her stop, but something intangible keeps her, the unicorn, at arm's length. Other men pay her no heed, but by you she's worshipped. Her black bobbed hair shines blindingly. The twin cherubic faces of her naked knees entice you towards her seat. Her eyes sparkle as she opens her book and scratches her ear. You wonder at the academic title she might be studying. You imagine walking to where she's sitting, dressed smartly for work as usual, and peeping at the title on her lap. Or imagine you shuffle over and sit in the empty seat behind her. Imagine stroking the girl's hair, black as a raven's wing, and imagine asking her for her name. Imagine talking to her in words of several syllables, sentences of several words. Imagine your unicorn. That's what makes the unicorn exist. But the reality is different. You ask for a date after joining her at the earlier bus stop. Your commuter friends glance oddly at you, but you barely notice because you're too busy noticing that your unicorn's hair smells of chocolate and sickly sweet honeysuckle, and that her top 2 blouse buttons are undone. You peer into the valley between her breasts before being drawn upwards again to her downy face and those liquid eyes. You want to reach out and touch, but you notice her expression changes. "Why," she says, as she pokes you in the ribs. "I'm going to tell the driver," she says. "That's sexual abuse, that is." Her voice grates. Her accent is rough and irritating, and her eyes glare. She clouts you on the shoulder with her copy of the latest chick-lit paperback. Shattered illusions and a dying unicorn are the only gains here. This is because illusions are illusions for a reason. To give us non-immortals an aesthetic to admire, a goal to aspire, and a dream of higher. It's all the better if the illusion isn't something universally beautiful and admired. Quirks and ugliness mean something special. They mean that the unicorn, that specific unicorn, is yours alone. You must be wary of making your fantasies real. You probably should keep the unicorn at arm's length to wander free, unaware of your admiration. You probably do, as Terry Pratchett suggested in Hogfather, need fantasy to be human, to be the place where the falling angel meets the rising ape. So, your necessary yet unattainable unicorn should remain at arm's length for perpetuity. And remember that what returns with you from your dreams, from your imagination and fantasies, is real, is pure, and is truly yours. Don't sully it by forcing it from dreams. Instead, Allow the unicorn to graze in its field of fairy dust and magic mushrooms. Allow the lichen and mosses to store your fantasy safe and pure. Say goodbye to the unicorn, the sapper of strength, the emotional parasite, and do yourself the favour of finding yourself a real life, a real person, someone attainable, someone real, with faults and farts and uncontrollable hair, and a laugh that gives you strength to continue.